Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope you all have had a blessed and wonderful day. It's Hump Day. We're halfway through the week. Thank God for that. Thank you. Thank the Almighty for waking us up to see another day. Hope you're having a good week thus far. Like I said, we're halfway through the week, and we thank God for that, for bringing us through. I'm gonna get into the topic for this video. Is this story is very disappointing, but it's not surprising. So yesterday, Judge Carolyn Wall, she's a judge, Tulsa County District Court judge, Judge Carolyn Wall. She dismissed the lawsuit that was seeking restitution, reparations to the last three survivors of the 1921 Tulsa race massacre. She dismissed the case that was seeking restitution to the last three survivors, who are Viola Fletcher, who's 109, her brother, Hughes Van Ellis Sr., who's 102, and Miss Leslie Benningfield Randall, who's 108. Wow, y'all. 109, 108, 102. These brave people, brave sisters and brother, they were little children in 1921 when the worst atrocity on American soil took place. They were little kids. I think Miss Fletcher was 7 years old, maybe 8 years old, and Mr. Hughes Van Ellis, he was a baby, so he don't have any recollection of it, but he survived it. But he was a baby. He may have been, I think he was born in 1921, or maybe had been a year old, but he was a baby. These were little kids, and they survived this. They outlived their friends, their family members, their parents, and for this judge to just dismiss this case, it's not surprising, but it's just another example of how white supremacy will continue. It's just, and I read a report, and can't remember where I saw this article, what publication it was, but they described Tulsa County District Court Judge Carolyn Wall as a self-described constitutional conservative. Well, that just tells you right there. She didn't have any just cause, and I was looking for the just cause as to why she dismissed this case, but I couldn't find it. But that tells you right there, constitutional conservative. They don't think that black people deserve reparations. The Democrats don't either. The Democrats, they said we deserve reparations, but they want to include everyone in the conversation. They want to include, illegal immigrants, LGBTQ community, um, Ukrainian immigrants, Afghan immigrants, um, cats and dogs, rats and roaches. They want to include everything, handicap, white women, everybody, Asians, Pacific Island, everybody, Native Americans. We give reparations to you, black people. We got to give it to a handicapped transgender person. You do? Since when they face discrimination? Oh, black people, we give it to you. We got to give it to an Asian kid who got beat up because of what Trump said about the China flu virus. But Biden wrote into legislation the anti-Asian hate bill, the anti-Asian hate crime bill. So why are they getting stuff that we deserve? See, the Democrats believe they say reparations. Some of them do. Some of them don't. Like y'all boy Obama, y'all sister girl, Kamala Harris, She distinctly said, I ain't gonna do everything for black people. I ain't gonna do everything for just y'all remember that? Brief history lesson. So, but then you have, Biden, you have others who will say, yeah, with lip service, yeah, black people deserve reparations, but if we give you reparations, we got to give it to everyone else. We give it to them first, then we give y'all the crumbs. So we like Lazarus. We're begging at the table for crumbs. Lazarus from the Bible. We're at the table begging for some damn crumbs. So, the Republicans, they flat out would tell you, y'all niggas don't deserve no reparations. No, y'all don't deserve it. Yet, now get this. Now get this one. White slave owners receive reparations. Look it up. White slave owners in Washington, D.C. receive reparations from President Abraham Lincoln. I believe I always get the year wrong. I believe it was 1862. Look it up. It's called the DC Emancipation. And I always get that act wrong. I always get this wrong too. But you can look it up. You can type in white slave owners receive reparations and it'll come up. But it was the DC Compensated Emancipation Act or something like that of 1862. I may be off, but it's something that's about around something like that. But he gave reparations to white slave owners. I believe it was $300, which was a lot of money in 1862, because they didn't want slavery in the nation's capital because it would be a bad look. So they showed out some loot to the slave owners, said, because you're losing property, because that's what we were back then, we're gonna give you some bread. You go to Maryland, you go to Virginia, but you can't have it here in DC. So Lincoln broke them off some bread, nice chunk of change for each slave. Now, $300 for each slave. So you can look that up. But the people, our ancestors who suffered through the worst atrocity in human history, don't deserve reparations. Make it make sense. Where in the hell does that make sense? That'd be like telling Germany, telling the survivors of the Holocaust, y'all don't deserve reparations, but the Nazis, the SS soldiers who threw y'all in the ovens and sent y'all to the concentration camps, Auschwitz and other concentration camps, they deserve reparations. Could you imagine if that had happened? There would have been hell up. There would have been smoke. There would have been a raging fire. The Jewish community would have came out against the German government. Germany would have looked bad on the world stage if they had done that. They would have been shamed into oblivion. Am I right or am I absolutely right? Could you imagine that? Just imagine that. Germany telling the descendants of those who died in the Holocaust or the survivors of the Holocaust, hey, you know what? Y'all don't deserve reparations. We're going to throw out your case. But we're going to pay restitution to those who oppressed you. Could you? That would be so wrong for them to do that. The same if the American government, the US government, did it to Japanese Americans. I know someone, a good friend of my wife, this lady went to graduate high school with my wife. She's Japanese American. Her family received restitution from the U.S. government for the internment of her mother and her aunts and uncles during the 1940s out here in California. They were in internment camps during World War II when the United States declared war on Japan for the attack on Pearl Harbor. Her family received restitution for that. rightfully so. But we don't deserve it for the worst atrocity in human history. There was nothing worse. And I quadruple dog dare you. Find me something that was worse than chattel slavery, than the oppression of black people. Please, I quadruple dog dare you. It happened over 3 centuries, and it's continuing today because systemic racism. So the systemic racism we see today, they're the offspring of what happened to us, back in the 16th through the 18th century. Well, actually, the 16th through the 19th century. This is the offspring of it. You have, gentrification, redlining, mass incarceration, the war on drugs. I could go on and on. Jim Crow segregation, lynchings. All this has happened over the last 130 years. All this has happened. So for this judge just to give the middle finger to the survivors of oh, this is the first time that bombs were used on American citizens. This was the first time that bombs were used against people here in this country. Was in 1921 Tulsa race massacre. They were bombing black people, bombing other Americans. They had those. They used C4, I think, whatever, and they were dropping bombs on the homes of Black Wall Street. Over 300 people died. I think it's more than that. I think it was more than that. At first, they said it was like 39 people. Then they said estimated to be over 300. I think it was well over 300. Thousands injured, many of thousands displaced. Black Wall Street never recovered from that. Never recovered. Never recovered. I'm wearing the shirt now. Black Wall Street. Y'all can see it. Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. Never forget, never forgive. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. And it wasn't just Black Wall Street in Tulsa and Greenwood, in the Greenwood district. There was Rosewood, Florida in 1923. 2 years later, there was the Wilmington race riot, Wilmington, North Carolina. They had a Black Wall Street. There was the 1943 riots in Detroit. Detroit had a Hastings Street in Detroit, Black Bottom, Paradise Valley. I remember as a little boy, a lot of the deacons and mothers, the deacons of my church and the mothers, they would speak so fondly of Hastings Street. Our pastor too. His first church was on Hastings Street in the 1930s. They was like, yeah, the older. There are a lot of them. They're been gone now. They're with the ancestors. God rest their souls. They were beautiful people, and I miss them. I learned so much from them. They would speak so vividly about Hastings Street and Black Bottom and Paradise Valley in Detroit. People from the South, they would come up, and that was the black section of Detroit. That's where you had your barber shops, your beauty parlors, your movie theaters, your your juke joints, restaurants, bars, churches. What else was on Hastings Street? Um, People ran numbers at that time on Hastings Street. You had bus companies, taxi companies on Hastings Street. Black people, we own all of these things. We own all of this. Own all of it. Homes, beautiful homes on Hastings Street. I think my granddaddy said there was even kind of like a kind of sort of like a strip club on Hastings Street, kind of like one of those risque type of joints. That was on Hastings Street. We had our own clubs, jazz clubs. So hotels on Hastings Street. When Duke Ellington or Billie Holiday came to Detroit, that's where they stayed. We had our own, but we had to go integrate, integrate. The white man's ice is colder. We had ice. Ice is ice. Ice is going to be cold, whether it's black ice, whether it's white ice. Ice is ice. It's cold. It stays frozen. His ice isn't any better than my ice. Why do I have to leave mine to go join him? This is the mentality of the integrationists. Abandon our own and join them. And where have that gotten us now? Hmm? The Negro Leagues. We had our own racing. We had our own NASCAR organization. I forgot the name of it, but someone mentioned it last week. We had our own horse racing organization, our own hockey league, our own football league, basketball league, our own taxi companies, our own bus companies, utility companies. We had our own everything, but we abandoned it to go to the white man, to join him. They let one black man into Major League Baseball, Jackie Robinson, and that was the sign. That was the nail in the coffin right there for the Negro Leagues. Because then you have Roy Campanella, Larry Doby, Satchel Paige, and so many others joining to go to the Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, going to the majors. Great, great. We had the best ball players on the planet. We still do. Not so much in baseball now because Shohei Ohtani is kicking butt. That young man is a bad boy. Shohei Ohtani. For those who don't know him, plays for the Los Angeles Angels. Japanese young man. He could hit a home. He could hit a ball out the stadium, 450 feet. He leads the majors with 34 home runs or something like that. And the young man can pitch. He has I think a 6-2 win-loss record. He could throw a 102 mile per hour fastball, strike your ass out, and then get up and bat and smack 2 home runs 450 feet out the stadium. That's a bad boy. But we had that. Black people, we had our Shohei Ohtani. We had our Shohei Otanis, I should say. What happened? Willie Mays was a bad boy. Hank Aaron, Jackie Robinson, Larry Doby, Roy Campanella. Satchel Paige was bad. Satchel Paige was striking people out until he was 60 years old. Come on now. The greatest pitcher ever was Satchel Paige. Came from the Negro Leagues. Was pitching until he was 60? Are you kidding me? Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson have nothing on him. They didn't have nothing on Satchel Paige. Gary Cole, nothing on Satchel Paige. Am I right or am I absolutely right? It just pains me that we just gave up our own to join the white man. And this isn't hate speech. I don't hate white people, but I love us. I love my people. I'm B1. I just love black people. We have we have so much talent. Even now, we've always had the intelligence. We just gotta find our way. We've lost our way now. We've got to find it. We got to get it back. We've got to get it back because we descend from greatness. Other people copy us. Am I right or am I absolutely right? Other people have copied us. Look at what the Greeks did with the Egyptians. The Greeks came to Egypt to learn mathematics and science. What does that tell you? I know I kind of got off the subject about this judge, this goofy judge, dismissing his case, but I get on a tangent. I can't stop. But it goes to what I'm saying. Her dismissing his case is not a surprise to me. It's upsetting. It's disappointing. Yes, but I'm not surprised. The attorneys for the three survivors said he was surprised. I'm like, why? I'm not surprised. That's what white supremacists do. That's what they do. Sharks attack. Do you get mad when a shark attack? That's what sharks do. They smell blood in the water, they attack. That's what a shark's gonna do. A shark's gonna do what a shark's gonna do. And a devil's gonna do what a devil's gonna do. And this judge is a devil. So she's gonna do, it's in her nature. She pretty much gave these three survivors the middle finger. But I bet you if they were three Jewish survivors of the Holocaust, she wouldn't dismiss this case. And the Holocaust didn't even take place here. It took place in Europe. But this is American. This is how they roll. The lawyer did say for the three survivors that he's going to appeal, that he's going to fight it and he's going to appeal. He said, this isn't the end. And I'm glad he's going to do that. I think he said he's going to go to the Oklahoma State Supreme Court. And so hopefully they take this case and they move forward. And I hope and pray to Allah that Miss Fletcher, Miss Benningfield Randall, and Mr. Ellis Sr., I hope they live to see their reparations, their justice. I hope. 109 years old, 108, 102. I really, really hope they are alive to see it. It's probably highly unlikely that they will live to see it, but I hope I'm wrong, and I hope they live to see, they get their restitution. I really do. And their family members as well. They're surviving, their family members who are still around, who are still surviving. Because it stunted black wealth. When they destroyed Black Wall Street, it stunted black wealth. And it's felt now in Tulsa to this day, 102 years later, because there's such a wealth disparity with black and whites in Tulsa, not just there, but across the country. Tulsa, what happened in Tulsa was a ripple effect for black people all across this country. It was. It was a ripple effect, and then you mix in integration. You mix that in, and it's just wow, wow. And here we at. This is where we at now. But I mean, it's a damn shame. Not surprising, but the fight will continue, and we should know it wasn't going to be easy. Nothing has come easy for black people here in these United States. Nothing. Even though we built this mug from the ground up, served in every war that America has gotten herself into. The most patriotic and peaceful people as a collective. And yet we're the most hated, yet, yet the most imitated. Make it make sense. Why would you imitate something that you hate? I don't know why. Our culture has a lot of culture vultures, more so than any other cultures. We do. It's just a fact, Jack. They hate black people but love black culture. Make it make sense. Look at hip hop. Look at that. That's a great example. Again, it's not surprising. Like I said, we have been the most patriotic people as a collective, the most peaceful people. We haven't oppressed anybody. Black people have been the most peaceful people on this planet. I didn't say perfect. No one has been perfect. I didn't say perfect, but we have been the most peaceful, loving, patriotic people on this planet, especially since we've been here in these United States. We haven't caused harm to anyone. We haven't, oppressed another people because we've been oppressed. But yet, you know our talent. You use it again. You use it against us to profit off of it. Our hard work and labor, blood, sweat, and tears, and we don't deserve a penny of reparations. Are you kidding me? To America. Forgive me for that, but I had to get it out my system. But that's what I say to the United States. I wish I had seen this 30 years ago because I wouldn't have joined the military. Um, and I'm against any black man, and young woman joining the military. I'm going to repeat myself again. I'm against any young black man and young black woman joining the military. If they're adults, they're going to do what they're going to do. But my advice, my suggestion, don't fight for this country. This country will never ever fight for you. They never have fought for us. They continue to give us the middle finger. I know if I hadn't joined the military, I wouldn't have met the people that I met, the friends that I have. I understand it and I get it. But at what point we need to take a stand? We will not fight in your military. Join your military to fight wars that you start around the world. America has started so many beefs around the world, have gotten herself into elections, assassinated leaders that they didn't agree with, put in a puppet leader. They did it in Afghanistan. They did it in Iraq. They did it in the Congo. Patrice Lumumba. They've done this all over the world. All over the world. They did it in Haiti. So, I mean, come on. Come on. Did it in Panama. I mean, she's involving herself in this European gang war between Ukraine and Russia. She's been doing that for over a year now. So she's involved. And all it's going to do is piss Russia off, and Russia going to get allies. And I said this last year, Russia's allies going to be China, Iran. Them two, China and Iran, maybe North Korea. Throw them in there. And last time I checked, China, Iran, and North Korea have nukes, don't they? Don't they? If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. So now you starting another World War III. But she don't learn. That's one thing about this country. They love to repeat history and think they're going to change history when they repeat it. That it won't be, it'll be a different outcome. No, it's going to get worse. It's going to be a worse outcome. But that's American. That's American um, arrogance. That's her arrogance, and it's going to be her downfall. Her downfall. Like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, America is not winning any more wars. Them days are done. Like the messenger, Honorable Elijah Muhammad said decades ago, the fall of America. And what he said 50 plus years ago is coming to pass now. Watch the weather. Just watch the weather. On that note, y'all, I'm gonna hop off of here. Y'all take care. Have a blessed and wonderful day. I love y'all. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down. Hit that subscribe button so you get notifications or when I do videos on here. Continue to support my podcast, this YouTube channel. I can't do these without y'all, without y'all love and support. And I thank y'all. I really, 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 from the bottom of my heart, I thank y'all immensely. So please support your brother, the YouTube channel, and my podcast. I can't do these without y'all love and support. Be safe out here. Just be safe out here. Whether you're going to work or taking the kids to summer camp or whatever, getting some gas, doing grocery shopping, just be safe. Beware and be aware, brothers as well as sisters. Please be safe. You gotta watch your front as well as your back. You know, you just got to do it in this day and age. So please beware and be aware. On that note, y'all take care. Um, Hit the thumbs up button, smash it down, share this video, share it. Let's start the conversation. Get it out there on the universe, so to speak. And like I always say, we don't have to agree, but let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Let's do that, y'all. All right, I love y'all very much and take care. All right, y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. All right, peace and blessings.